race with a coming train. Less a man might be drove insane, but I'm man enough, I don't want her tame. Honeysuckle on my vine, trouble, trouble, but it's all mine. Honeysuckle on my vine, trouble, trouble, but it's all mine. Soft to touch, she's a lot, but not too much. She can wiggle, she can hunch. I know a little, she knows a bunch. Honeysuckle on my vine, trouble, trouble, but it's all mine. Honeysuckle, trouble, trouble, but it's all mine. Trouble, trouble, but it's all mine. Trouble, but it's all mine. Honeysuckle on my vine. Trouble, trouble, but it's all.
The next little thing here is what I'm going to start the episode with. It's called Life in the X World, or being an owner of an Excelsior Henderson. These are things I've been thinking about for quite a while and trying to get them down on paper and make them humorous or interesting, and I don't know if I accomplished that or not. The reason I bring this up is Ben Cobb wrote a piece up on Facebook, a long piece, and it's very well written. It nailed it for me. It's what being an owner of an Excelsior Henderson is all about. It's just, he nailed it. It did a very good job, and I'm going to try and get it typed into the description on this episode down below. If you're not a member of Facebook, you can read it down there. It's something. It's what it's all about. Very well written. I was very surprised at his skills. Did a good job. All right. Life in the X World as an owner. I had a bunch of guys I started riding with when I got my Excelsior Henderson. They live on the north side of town. I call them the Geezers. And back in the early days when you had an Excelsior Henderson, it always kind of an adventure every time you took your bike out, because you never knew what was going to happen next. You know, puking oil all over, or the battery'd come loose and it'd stall, or it'd just stall because we didn't have the right tunes in them yet. A couple of guys that got sharp-witted tongues about them, and the one guy said he had a commercial magnet at home and that he was going to bring it with a rope so I could drag it behind my bike for any pieces that fell off the bike as we went down the road. And I got quite the chuckle out of it. And that's the way it was. In the early days, we were always hoping that if we needed a part, that part was around. That's not an issue now, but back then we just didn't know what was going on because the doors were getting ready to close. In fact, they did close during the early days. Hoping the factory stayed open was a big concern, because we all had a lot of money invested in our bikes, and that was an issue. We were all hoping someone would buy it and take it over and keep producing these nice machines. Like I said earlier, every ride was an adventure. You never knew what was going to fall apart or come off or soak you with oil or whatever. These are some constants that still happen till today. It has nothing to do with how old or how many years you've owned the bike or anything. This is from the beginning till still to this day. You'll pull up someplace with a lot of bikes or a gas station, and the first thing out of their mouth is, what is that? Because they obviously don't know what it is. There's no marketing out there today for these bikes. Back in the day there was, but as much money was put into the marketing on these bikes when they were new, it was still surprising, even in the early days, how many people didn't know what it was. Another constant was my dad, my uncle, my brother owned one of these, and they were referring to, back in the old days, the old Excelsior Hendersons when it was owned by Agnes Schwinn, and they closed their doors in 1931. And those bikes were around a lot of years, and there's still a lot of them being collected and restored to this day, even raced for that matter. I saw it at the unveiling, and they're referring to when the bike was unveiled at Sturgis or unveiled at Daytona. The people saw them there. I rode one at the unveiling. They had test bikes out there, so a lot of people had rode them, and a lot of them got a big smile on their face when they talk about that. They really enjoyed it. I still get occasionally, I'll get an old salty Harley Davidson guy, and he'll see the bike and he's staring at it and everything, and he wants to know what kind of Harley Davidson it is. And I don't understand that at all, because there's nothing really similar other than it's a V-twin of the Excelsior Henderson to any of the Harley Davidsons, but by golly, some people just can't fathom what it is, and they don't, even when you tell them what it is, they still don't know. I've had several people come up to me asking if it was a metric bike. In other words, referencing the fact that it was made in Korea or Japan or Europe. And obviously it isn't. It's all American standards on it. There's nothing metric on it, maybe one or two bolts, that's about it. Another constant is dreaded parts house. And you go and you're going to get a crossover piece, a cross-reference piece that works on our bikes, that works on other things, like an oil filter. A constant reference for oil filters is you ask for a Ford Escort 2300cc motor, and then they scratch in their head and they can't find it in the book or on the computer or whatever, and they go, so what is this going on? And so then you got to jump through that hoop, and you got to explain to them it's going on Excelsior Henderson. They don't know what that is, and they look at you like you're nuts, and you just want your simple oil filter so you can go home. And so you got to jump through those hoops, make a joke or two, and make the guy think and look at it, and maybe even when he goes home he'll look it up on the computer. We had back in the early days, this is not a stigma or me pissed off by any means of the word, it was just the way it was back in the early days. There was tech and involvement on the East Coast far greater than probably the rest of the country. California had some involvement and tech going on out there, but here in the flatlands of Nebraska, we were kind of isolated by ourselves. And with Jamie in the East Coast, he would discover something, or somebody in the community would discover something and fix the problem on our Excelsior Hendersons. And a lot of times here in Nebraska, at least from my point of view, I wouldn't hear about it for a month or two, if not longer. And then if I did hear about it, I didn't understand it, and I'd have to question and ask stuff. It wasn't until I found out what they were talking about, what they were doing, that it finally made sense. And that would take up to a couple of months. You'll find that as a new owner or an owner of this group, owner of the motorcycles, and you're in this group, there's an amazing community in the lifetime of belonging. For the majority, we are good people, yes. I've been in a lot of organizations through the years, good organizations, bad organizations. It seems to me that anytime you get more than 10, 15 people in a group, there's going to be some assholes or some people that don't really want to play nicely. It's amazing with the size of the membership, our active membership in here, how many people. We've got a lot of really good people. I'm not saying there aren't some bad apples or people that are kind of rough, and make it hard for the rest of us sometimes. I'm not even referencing that. Everybody, even people that don't exactly fit the mold, are actually good people within our group. It's really surprising. One of the nice things when I was in the beginning, and I'd never worked on an Excelsior Henderson, I'd worked on a few motorcycles, lots of Fords, maybe a tractor or two. I'd never been in an Excelsior Henderson, and it's not like anything else. And so when you're tackling and going into unknown lands of the Excelsior Henderson mechanics, and you actually fix something, it was a happy moment. It was a good deal. You felt good about your accomplishment the first time. My first bike show was purely by accident, and as a new owner and everything, this was in 2006. I bought my bike in 2001, right the day after 9/11. But 2006, we were out for a ride. A bunch of us were out for a ride, and we happened through this small town out here at Waverly, and we went to this small town. They were having a car show, motorcycle show, to raise funds for the fire department. We got off the bikes and everything, and the guy running the car bike show come running up, and he begged me to put my bike in the show. And my bike was really clean that day, 'cause it just was that day. I remember it distinctly. I won the motorcycle show. And there it is. It's nothing much. It's just a plaque. Didn't want to enter it because I wasn't into car shows anymore. I like show and shines, or those kind of shows where you just go, don't get an award or anything. You just go and have fun, talk to the other owners. Because usually at show and shines and stuff like that, the owners actually did the work compared to a trophy class and voted class. Went there, got off. The guy at the show wanted me to enter. I said I wasn't interested. I just wanted to see who was at the show. He says, "Oh, you got a show, blah, blah, blah." And I said, "Well, I don't have any money with me. We just went for a ride, and I didn't bring any cash or anything." He said, "It's only $10. Two guys I was riding with coughed up the $5 before I even answered, so they wanted to see it in there." So I roll my bike over there to the group of bikes and everything. A ton of Harleys and different motorcycle clubs are sitting there in the shade, and they're all shaking their heads like, oh no. Apparently they might have known what an Excelsior Henderson is, or at least the look of it. And obviously by the end of the show I won, and that was really quite the kick for me. I didn't have a way to carry it home. One of the guys I was riding with, he had a $500 Gold Wing, I think it was, and he put it in one of his bags and hauled it home for me. So there's some of the things as a owner of an Excelsior Henderson you're going to encounter. They're all good things. They're all fun. They're all part of the adventure. Our bikes now, it sounds kind of negative what I was saying, our bikes now are just as dependable as anything else out there. I'm not afraid to ride my bike anywhere. I've rode it to Sturgis 6 times out of the 7 times I've been there. Going to Sturgis again this year, and I'm not riding my age and that kind of stuff. I don't got nothing to prove anymore. I've rode it. There isn't any place I wouldn't ride it. It's just really dependable, and it's pushing 55,000 now. It's been a great bike. So that's pretty much what I got. Just something kind of cute, kind of different to think about as an owner or a new owner. We're going to move on to Devin's bike here. It's up here on the lift, and we'll talk about it. All right, we're going to touch here on Devin's bike. Anybody that's on Facebook knows that this bike went down last week. Some details that are pertinent to this. This was on Road W down by the Ozarks. Devin was down there with his family vacationing, had gone to get a few groceries, and was riding on Road W. He come to a curve. He didn't know the roads down there. He'll readily admit it. And it was a blind curve, and it was 50-mile-an-hour speed limit sign was on it, so he just took it at 50. Well, on the blind curve there was gravel all the way across the road from a previous rain on top of the asphalt. Bike went down on the left side with Devin's leg pinned underneath it, and it slid 30-50 feet into a ditch. There, Devin laid for approximately 49 minutes unconscious, as the cars couldn't see him as they went by, apparently. And just happened that some road workers for the county were going down the road, and they spotted him, and they're the ones that called the ambulance. Devin's came conscious in the ambulance, and that was when, after 49 minutes. So we're lucky, very lucky, to have Devin still with us, especially for the minor injuries he's got. He got a lot of road rash on his face, shoulder, back. His left knee doesn't feel real good as the bike fell down on him on that left side. That's pretty good. He doesn't look pretty, but he did. All right, this is the most obvious damage. This whole front fender is scuffed up bad from gravel. Amazingly, there's really no real dents on this. There's a little bit of one here. And another side of it is it's straight. It's not really tweaked off to the side. Here's center, and here's center on the fender, so it's pretty close. I ran my fingers down here to see if the back side is bent on the fender, and it doesn't appear to be, but we'll know more when we get it off. Well, obviously, you're going to have to repaint this, and we've got plenty of resources for that. And I heard Mike Seastrom now has factory paint colors, which is cool. His horn, it's got a little ding in it right here. The headlight's really beat up. As you can see, the light and lens, the ring, and I think, yeah, there it is. There's a big ding in the headlight cut bucket. Surprisingly, the wind vest survived. It's I don't know how he did that, because I've broke 3 of them, and I've never dropped the bike. My bike's been dropped. Don't take that wrong, but I've never dropped it, and it's gone through 3 of them. Clutch handle. Well, this bucket looks good here. His Harley crash bars came loose. This bracket's loose. Looks like we can rebend that and get that back up in there. I think that'll be just fine. Down here, this whole shift bracket is shoved over to the side and pretty funky. We'll figure that out once we get it off. I've got a spare original first edition. I don't think he wants to put that on there because it rattles so much. So we're probably looking to see if Mike's got one. These rare type air cleaners did not get damaged. This is a really good shape. His kickstand, customized by my buddy Jim Martinowski. He's the one that builds these braces. It's really tweaked good. I don't know if we can straighten it out or not. I'll probably give it to my friend Jim Martinowski, see if he can straighten it. If not, we'll have to come up with another idea. And we work our way down the side. The tank did not get hit. These crash bars, I'm not a big fan of crash bars. I got crash bars on my bike, but they definitely save damage to the bike. Oh, here's an X-Man grip on the clutch side that it's dinged pretty darn good, but we might be able to file and sand that, it's aluminum. Yes. And Devin's this side got scraped up. This is also an X-Man forward controls pedal or footrest. We get back here, and the passenger peg's missing, so I don't know what happened to that. That disappeared. Devin bought these bags at the Chrome event, and actually they still look very good. We got some scuffing up here. Apparently it pulled down the side and scuffed all this up. We got something going on with the belt, but we'll know more Saturday. It may just, from the hit, made the axle go sideways a little bit, you know, dinged it enough to push it around, because the belt acts like it's trying to pop off. Hopefully that's all it is. Back here, it looks good. Now here, this is your, there's a name for that. Anyway, this looks a little bit bent, and if you notice, there's a little bit of a bow here, and I'm not sure if it's the mount or if it's this. Either way, I think that's fixable. This one here is nice and straight, both of them. And that's pretty much it, other than it's dirty. I washed it just, yeah, there you go, Phil, I said wash. Washed it for Devin, so when we got it in here, it's gonna be nice and clean. And to work on, not to show, obviously. And that's where we're at. I think this is all fixable. I told Devin we could probably get it all fixed up and rideable. From what I can see on the obvious, probably for less than $1,000. So that's a good sign. I was just showing this to let you know what can happen in a 50-mile-an-hour sliding incident. And it's not bragging nothing. In fact, Devin probably a little embarrassed about this whole video, but I think it's important to show us all that we want to take good care of our bikes, our X's, and this is part of it. Getting it put back together and keep it riding. I know a lot of people support that comment, so that's where we're at. The rest of this video is going to be parts and pieces of just a taste of Camp Creek Threshers out here. It's a big event for Waverly. Our town is small. Camp Creek Threshers used to be probably one of the largest antique steam shows in the nation, and now it isn't. There's many shows around now that are much larger, but this is still a substantial show, and it's a great event. And if you love steam tractors or old cars or motorcycles or heavy equipment or any of that stuff, this is the show to come to and see. Plus all the crafts, and they got a church and train stuff and a couple depots and you name it, it's all out here. So that's what the rest of it will be. I'll try to keep it short but keep it interesting. We'll see how well I did videoing it, what I did get, being that I was kind of hobbled up and I was using a stick to walk while I videoed. Thanks everybody. Don't be shy about suggestions and stuff you'd like to see how to fix it. I'm debating on when we start tearing Devin's bike down to show how that's done. I think that might be smart. Front fender can be kind of tricky because if you do it wrong when you assemble it, you're going to eat a tire real fast. Brand new tire is going to be junk. There you go. Thank you.
Grandpa, you videoing?
I am.
You are?
I am. Where are we going?
Ford must be the featured tractor this year?
Ford.
It must be. It's in front.
That piece of better job. The original tire. That looks like a sand bug tire in the front of this here.
Oh,
Doesn't it?
well, they're actually tractor tires first, and the sand buggy guys like.
I wondered. Right. Right down the road or something. This is it.
Yeah,
There's like maybe a
they start the threshing at 9.
Well, I want to go do something.
Well, we look at the tractors first.
Oh, that's boring.
Put your kid in
So instead of going to Denmark, talk to Jared about that. Move to Denmark and Sweden, Norway trip. And planning. You got to plan all that out. I mean, yeah.
Why is that all weird smooth little breather? Got a little breather up here for in case you go in the water.
That should be for the carb.
Like a breather for the fuel tank, maybe.
Well, I hope it's big enough.
There ain't no air cleaner on it.
I jump right there.
But the carb goes into this red thing. Yeah, but that goes
Stop.
into the red thing. Out underneath, maybe. That's unique. And it's heavy. Shit.
I bet you did.
But it's loud at that frickin' straight pipe on there. Be here all day.
Come here.
Looks super heavy, doesn't it?
Yeah, they're on the bed.
Something on it, tell me what it is.
Yeah. They're not on the basic stuff.
Why is that so unique? Yeah, every piece of that is weird.
Well, I'm thinking it's a construction tractor for like roads and stuff.
Ford Motor Company, made in England.
Well, maybe it meets English standards. I don't know.
Yeah. But it's just so oddly smooth. Like, you know?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Hope that rear end's heavy enough.
Oh, damn. No PTO, no nothing on it.
Glass bowl.
This is almost identical motor to the 223.
Is that what it is?
It's a 215.
Oh, that's the same block.
That's why it's so similar.
Doc, I think you read Blister.
That's from Accuracy.
Yeah, the same as 2023, except it's a 215.
Look at that. You know, how long that is. It's got the comb and everything. It's a job. Put the hard parts on. Why is it so long?
Look how long that tractor is.
I have eyeballs, I saw it.
I'm talking to your dad.
I thought you fell over the flat.
These tires are all wet, and every tire I sit on, I get a wet butt.
Look at that one, Ed. The yellow one. Right there. In front of it.
Hard car. I know, isn't that cool? I took a picture of that last car. Like an army tank.
Hard Par's an early Oliver.
I believe you. Like 2000, maybe. 2005, man. Yeah. It was 1866 on that. There's no way. So you put that thing on the tank back, it looks like it's a front tire. That's what it was, that little trade rig. I got a chain on it. Should off. No, it looked like it. Yeah, I didn't see that. It is the exhaust. One of the exhausts. Oh, that's intake. No, I took a hit and miss. Founders of the tractor into. Yeah, that's good. Stick on the terminal by the flywheel. That's right here going back.
Cold.
Something like that. Right.
Morning, Gary.
Good morning. How are you?
Sweaty?
Well, already?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not hugging you today.
No. Pass.
That's the only one.
The one next to it says homebrew.
Yeah, I was noticing that over there.
Where'd you find that? And then I was looking at the look at the rear. Or don't sit on those. Look at that big that rear. That's just enormous.
It's a proper heat cool.
That one, that might be steam, huh?
What, this?
Yeah, no, it's got tailpipe.
No, that's an oil pole. The Rumley.
Always get them confused.
The stack is to cool the oil as it blows compression by it, and it blows up to a stack.
Weird.
a stranger just looking for a manger. Sometimes a stranger just looking for a manger. If he heaven, what would you do? What would you do? Strangers you meet could be angels in need. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. They say a savior could come like a stranger. They say a savior